leadership. On that whistle, underway from Audi Field. Steven Birnbaum as he goes by now. It was always Steve, but that's been changed. That ball goes out of play for a throw-in for El Munir.
He wants to be called Steven, we'll call him Steven.
We will. El Munir, Alexi started last game up high. Yep. Now he's back to the left back spot.
We mentioned in the pregame that James O'Connor's going to switch things around. He's going to test people. He's going to give people opportunities. He's going to play different formations, players in different positions. We'll see how long that lasts.
Will Johnson tucked it back. The big question for me tonight, who's going to supply the service to Dwyer? From distance. Ooh. Knocked away. That was Osted. That was a tough one off Higuita. Tougher than we might have thought.
Well, we had a great look at it right from our vantage point up here. And he hits this thing, and it's moving. Osted's not going to take any chances. Now, keep in mind, when this goalkeeper is saving these shots, he's looking over his shoulder because he's got Bill Hamid sitting there on the bench, and he's got to feel that at some point Bill Hamid's going to try to take his spot.
To the end line, that ball is crossed, didn't work. Off Acosta. That's Higuita. He went down, it looked like on his own. Ball is going to be cleared out by D.C. United. There's Akmora. Throw in here for the visitors who've not won on the road since late April against Colorado, April 29th. The veteran Will Johnson will push it back into the middle. Rocha. O'Neal. Out wide, that's Mueller. Having a good rookie season. May have to step it up tonight in the absence of Question and Yotun. That's wide. End line. Can they cut it back? The attempt was there. Headed away by Areola. Not far enough out. Neither is that one. The ball finds its way to the circle. Pushed to Sutter. Game time goal in stoppage time last weekend against New England. What are we looking for early, Alexi?
Well, if you're DC, you want to get some possession. Now, this is early days here, but we've already seen Orlando get Higuita the ball numerous times and him be alone and be able to serve balls in.
Rooney's got it for the throw-in. Mora, Costa Rican, leaves it off.
You can see Acosta just trying to get around the ball. It's got to flow through him.
Small but effective, pushing it out wide. The ball cut inside towards Areola. That's blocked. Taken over by Rocha. Tried to go long for Dwyer, who applauded the effort, but that's not close. Birnbaum. Left sideline to Mora. Acosta let that one go through. Mueller under a little bit of pressure. Uri Rosell, formerly with Sporting Kansas City, way out wide on that left side. Orlando City will try to get some numbers forward if they can. Ball is pushed all the way back. Shane O'Neal, a summer acquisition, was playing over in the Netherlands. Ball floated over the top. Oh, Dwyer was open. Ball finally gets to him. And Dwyer was caught up by Birnbaum. Fisher takes off on the right. O'Neal Fisher claiming that right back spot lately for this team. O'Neal. Rooney's after him. On the far side, that's blocked. DC will come up with it into the middle. The playmaker Acosta leaves it off. Assad. Mora. Stieber. Birnbaum will move it. Opari. Those are the two center backs for DC United. In the early going here at Audi Field. Knaus played it to the right. Pressure from Orlando City. DC will keep it. Areola. Acosta. Wide on that right flank. Fisher up from his right back spot. Looked like more than shoulder to shoulder, but play continues. DC almost got it back. Still working for it. They're throwing. They get it in quickly.
Well, look at Acosta. He just is going wherever he wants, and they're always looking for him, and rightly so. And that whole opportunity came from Acosta finding his way, getting the ball. He can play that killer pass as we've seen. Whoop, there he is. Boss is back in town.
On loan, year-and-a-half loan. 3 games in 8 nights. One would expect we will see Bill Hamid starting one of these games, maybe as early as Wednesday night against Portland. We'll see. Upfield, that's Rooney laying it off nicely. That was blocked, and the attempted cross from Areola.
Bill Hamid surely didn't come back here to sit on the bench.
Actually have 3 good goalkeepers, Osted, Clark, and Hamid. Assad, who scored the first goal in the stadium against Vancouver. That time was over the target.
Take a look at this pass shot. Assad, that thing's coming right across, just doesn't get around. He's been a good addition.
He was good last year with Atlanta. They couldn't bring him back. Worked out a deal with D.C, and he's done very well here. 9 goals, 3 assists. Last year he had 7 goals, but 13 assists.
Good hold-up play there by Dwyer, getting strong. Oftentimes over the years he's been on an island. Just does a lot of work. I'm sure gets frustrated at times.
Mueller held his run to stay onside, tracked by Mora. Mora got there first, cleared it to safety, throw in Orlando City. Here in the 7th minute, Ciro's on the board. Chipped up by Higuita, and Rossell just went down. Rivero has called the foul. Free kick, Orlando City.
Take a look. Rossell just gets to it quick and just gets clipped, and okay, he's not going to get to that ball, but it's still a foul.
Now in set pieces, Alexei normally have either Kleshton or Yotun, so someone else will have to serve and look for Dwyer among others.
You mentioned the size of this DC United team. The only players that are over 6 foot are the center backs, Opari and Birnbaum.
2 in that wall. Is it going to be Mueller? Number 7, Audi, the Audi player index track to remove every match. To learn more, visit MLSsoccer.com/Audi. And that's where we are. Audi Field in Washington, D.C. DC United looking for some wins here at home. They'll finish, we mentioned before, with 12 of their last 15 at home, but also 7 of their last 8. They'll close on the road at Chicago.
Look, we've seen this time and time again in MLS where teams open up a stadium and they have to go through the first part of the season, and it's difficult, and sometimes it's just gravy, the points that you get, but then you got to rack those points up at home. And keep in mind that while the rest of the league is adapting and adjusting to a brand new environment, so is this team. And so for DC United, the quicker they get used to it, the quicker the environment gets comfortable, the better off they're going to be. But they got to find a way to go on a streak and get multiple points.
On this right side, the attempted pass by Areola was cut off. Rocha was doing the work. El Munir up that left side, broken up. DC wins the ball back. Canas, in his 2nd year with the club, leaving it off. Assad from distance, keeps it rolling. Areola's on that side, has some help. Canas. Fisher. Areola cut off, but Orlando City can't win it. Assad looking for Acosta.
Well, we saw Areola there pull out wide in this 4-1-4-1 from Ben Olsen. He wants Areola to sit next to Acosta in a much more central type of position here, but you got Areola pulling out wide, you got Assad pulling in, so lots of movement, lots of interchanging from this DC United 11.
Lifted high, but Birnbaum nods it down. He's their former captain. Last year he was. From distance, the low shot by Stieber is wide of goal. Bendick is back in goal, by the way. Didn't start in the last 5 games, plus the Open Cup. It was Earl Edwards Jr. getting those starts. Sardis with a goal in stoppage time. And once again, Alexi, on this weekend, we saw a lot of late goals that won games for players. Jack Elliott had a couple there for Philadelphia. You could probably guess it was Bradley Wright Phillips that scored in that game. First player to score 15 or more goals in 5 consecutive seasons. We always seem to be congratulating Bradley Wright Phillips. Justifiably so. He got his 100th goal against this team, DC United, in this stadium. A 1-0 win for the Red Bulls. Toronto losing at home today. Josie Altidore with a red card. Later on, right after this one, Seattle and FC Dallas. Seattle winning games at the end. And FC Dallas has had a pretty consistent year. Acosta looking for Assad. He was a step behind the defense. Rossell won it. Higuita, the longest tenured player, he was fouled.
So I know we're only into the 12th minute here, but from an Orlando perspective, it's a low bar, but they haven't really allowed DC United to have a whole lot of the ball. They haven't allowed them to have many chances. I mean, we saw the game last week against New England. They should have been down 4-0 in that first half. They were just letting clear-cut opportunities.
To the end line. Push played across.
Push.
Yeah. Side netting, but that's all it's going to be called. He wanted that call.
He's got some speed. He takes a look. That's a push. And the referee could have gotten away with it. He didn't have to call the penalty or anything because it's outside the box.
Yeah. But a push nonetheless. Well, for Orlando City, it has to start with defense. You're not winning games when you give up. It's 2.35 during the regular season. It's worse during that losing streak. It was 3.5 during those 8 games. So the longer this stays at 0, the better chance they have of getting a point or 3 on the road. Has to start with defense first. Back to Bendick. On the right side, Sutter. Higuita was there. The last touch by Knaus. Could be a throw-in, but probably not from there. Or there. Way back there.
There's close enough.
Yeah. Sutter. Going back to Bendick. For 3 years, he was their #1 goalkeeper. That's the biggest change that James O'Connor made when he took over, changing his #1 goalkeeper. Now Bendick has another chance to get that job back. Another throw-in for DC United.
When we're talking to these players about their new coach and James O'Connor, I mean, every single one of them said, the dude's intense. You know? But then you got to try to pin them down and say, well, how does that manifest? Give me some examples. And they were few and far between. But when we were talking to someone like who we're talking to, who was it? Mueller. There we go. Excuse me. He was, he said, there's no joking around. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but there is a definite change in terms of the intensity that they have felt. Now, whether that changes the way that they play, we'll see. But there's a new sheriff in town, and he's doing things very, very differently than Jason Kreis. And by the way, that's not a shot at Jason Kreis. You can scream and yell all you want. Players will tune you out really, really quick. So intensity's all fine and well. And to be fair, James O'Connor, he said that he also has to control that intensity and make sure that he balances it out and make sure he uses it correctly and harnesses it in the right way as he goes forward.
He's been suspended, not just for 1 game. He got another one as well, added on. And he's their top assist man. Assad for DC. Switching it. Bit of a slip there, but it's controlled. Fisher played it and gets a return from Areola. Knaus. Assad on this near side. Has Mora ahead of him. Plays it instead to Acosta. Mora was covered. He'll go the other way towards Rooney. And the idea was good. Ball was off target.
We really haven't mentioned his name a whole lot so far in this game. That's not necessarily a bad thing because he will pop up and score his goal, but you want to get him involved in a game at home.
Rooney's already scored a goal, also an assist, had an assist in his first game against Vancouver in this stadium. His goal came against Colorado. right side. Sutter. Higuita. Mueller. Has Will Johnson to the right. Dwyer in front. Let's make sure Dwyer stays on side. Johnson. Russell. Higuita. Pushed from behind. Kept his legs up. Kept going. Pushed forward by D.C. trying to avoid that pressure, and ball is given away. It's going to be a throw-in for Orlando City.
Well, as far as any type of higher line from D.C., we talked about it. That has not been evident yet in terms of the way this D.C. United 11 is playing right now. Much more content at times to pull back, to absorb some pressure. The problem is they don't really have a speed demon out there that enables them to be that outlet that gives them a counterattack.
Ariel on the ball. Acosta. Rooney. Pushing it back to help his team go forward. Morris to the left. Lays it off to the captain. The former Manchester United great will play it ahead. Right side, Stever has help with Fisher in the overlap. Has Areola too. Will play it to Assad. Assad waits for the run from Mora. Now goes the other way. Acosta to the right. Stever across. He was looking for Assad. Bendick went down. Ball played right back in. Mueller will head it to safety. And it's going to roll out towards that corner flag. Be a throw in deep for DC United.
That opportunity started with Assad coming inside again. And then this man finding his way to the ball.
Birnbaum. Slow ball to Fisher, but he got rid of it. Away from Northshot. Areola looks for Rooney! That was a deft touch. Picked up by Orlando City. And they'll try to come back. Pressure from Assad. He almost gave that ball away. In for Dwyer. Fisher.
That is a hard run for an outside back to make. He's turning around. He gets to it. He uses his speed, draws the foul. He's got to judge that long ball. Whether you track it down or you live to fight another day and let the player get the ball. It's well played.
Back to live action. It is Assad. Rooney to the outside. Mora. Acosta. Luciano Acosta will push it right. Stever. DC working it around. Trying to be as mobile as they can in this attacking third. Players making decent runs, and the ball is going to go right to Bendick. We've been talking a lot about Wayne Rooney. For more on number 9, here's Danielle Slayton.
Well, Alexi, you said that we haven't talked about Wayne Rooney much in this game, but when we spoke to Ben Olsen yesterday, he praised Wayne Rooney for far more than his technical abilities on the field. He said he brings a swagger and a mentality that raises the level of the younger players around him. Olsen said at training, Wayne's teams win, not because he necessarily has the soccer ability alone, but because when players are on his team, they want to perform for him. I know when I was a young player, I remember when Mia Hamm or Bryce Scurry demanded something out of me, I did it. Sometimes out of fear, but mostly out of wanting the respect of a veteran player that I hoped I could be like one day.
Good stuff. Wayne Rooney has made an impact for this team. Hasn't scored a bunch of goals yet, but you get the sense that when they start to come, they'll come in bunches.
Sure, and off the field, the message that it sends is one thing, but on the field, Danielle's absolutely right. You don't want to mess up, and most of these players will have grown up watching Wayne Rooney play. The off factor starts and it diminishes to a certain extent, but you recognize that you want, in his eyes, to be seen as a quality player. Everybody wants affirmation out there, especially from a great player that comes in. So regardless if he can do it on a consistent basis, you want to do it and you want to prove to him that not only are you worthy, but maybe you're even more important. And there is that value that Ben Olsen talked about. And how much is that? What do you pay for that? And does it raise everybody's level? Well, at least so far, the according to Ben Olsen, it has.
Raises the level in training, raises the level in the games. Sutter. Big switch. Other side. Munir lost it. Can D.C. get numbers ahead? It's to Rooney, and it's cut off. Well read. Oh, that was a hard challenge. Tarek lost it. Gathered in. Higuita was helping. Now Assad leads it. Here's Rooney. Looking. Oh, draws a big crowd. Steamers open. The shot was wide. But Wayne Rooney drew about 4 or 5 players right to him.
Well, we know that Wayne Rooney isn't necessarily the player he once was. Maybe there was a time where he puts that in, kicks it into another gear, and gets an opportunity. Instead, he pulls it back. Still an opportunity for DC United, but see, he's got 2 or 3 steps there. And just doesn't have the speed, but also recognizes he doesn't have the speed. And pulls it back to say, all right, I can keep possession here and maybe create something from somebody coming late.
DC back on the ball. Scoreless here, 22nd minute. DC United at home at Audi Field versus Orlando City SC. Mora on it. Flicking it. Acosta. Deflected up by Sutter. Throw-in coming up. Acosta got it in quickly before Orlando City could settle. But they're back, ready to defend. Rooney laid it off. Knaus trying to cut it back to Rooney. Might have done better going towards goal. But there's always that extra look you want to give to Rooney when you have a star player like that out there. Players sometimes defer to a player like that. MLS on FS1 is sponsored by Target. Expect more, pay less. JC Rivero, the referee's having a conversation with Uri Rosell. That's why Bendig is not kicking this ball. I'm not sure what that was about. Knaus was also spoken to. Now we play on. Orlando City will move it ahead. Dwyer was pushed by Birnbaum. This is a pretty easy one to call.
DC's worked themselves back into this game in that second 10 minutes. First 10 minutes, it was Orlando. Now DC with getting opportunities here. If I'm DC, I'm getting into Acosta at every opportunity you can, because Orlando can chase him, but if they do, it opens up all sorts of opportunities, and he's got the skill to be able to find those passes.
Rocha. Rosell. Tarek. Higuita, that's a tough pass. Oh, he put Shane O'Neill in a bad spot. Over the top. Towards Dwyer. One in the air by Opari. Orlando City will get it back. Pushed wide. Here's Mueller. Out of University of Wisconsin. Nice move to the outside against Mora. To the end line. Nice move to the outside against Mora. To the end line. The cross. Oh, Dwyer. That would have been spectacular if he could have come around on that one. Difficult ball for him. Back for Mueller. Has played in every game. The only one on this team that can make that claim now. Rocha. Wide on this left side. Orlando City keeping it. Goes back to Rocha. Tarek. Sutter. Rosell battled with some injuries earlier in the year. Lays it off. Higuita. Sutter. Back and forth they go. That's another tough ball.
Let's keep an eye over here on this right-hand side. There he is.
He's wide open. He finally spotted him. Here's Mueller, 1v1. Going to the outside on Mora. That's blocked by Mora. Did a good job defending, stayed with him.
It's great, the game within the game over here.
Costa couldn't get to that ball. Sutter can. Numbers still up there for Orlando City. That's blocked. In the midsection, it looked like of Knaus. Assad couldn't get by Mueller. Throw in DC United.
Let's switch here into Mueller here, and we talked about the one-on-one matchup here, using his speed and his ability. That time didn't get through. Previous time did. Going up against Mora, something to keep an eye on.
The Mora throw in. Rooney got around Sutter, but there was backup in the form of O'Neal. Birnbaum gets some help on the clearance. Up towards Rooney. Trying to deaden that ball for Acosta. Instead, it's Mueller. Higuita lost it there. Knaus under pressure. Finds Mora. Lifted towards Rooney. On the turn. Rooney waits. Sees the help coming. Into the middle. Areola. Ball is behind, and it allows Orlando City to take over. Will Johnston on the move. He's won a couple of MLS Cups in his career. With RSL in Portland, it goes into the middle. Rocha leaves it. Mueller's open again, wide open. No one near him. Allowed to cross it. It's cleared back to Rossell. Orlando City back with it. Tarek. Sutter. Into the middle of the field it goes. That's Rossell chipping it forward. El Munir. Rocha. Sutter holds there. A little bit of pressure. Mueller's on the right. Going to the inside. Finding Higuita. Their all-time leader in games played in MLS and in all competitions. That's blocked. Johnson got it forward. Mueller's in the box. The shot, he went near post, and Osted saved it as a corner. Good job by the rookie.
Really well done, because he assessed the situation. He looked, he knew he didn't have someone to play to. Gets a little lucky here on the bounce, but just continues on through. Gets it out of his feet, takes a look. Says, I'm not going to play that to Dom. Have one. There you go. He's getting on the ball, and he's doing good things with it.
Driven in off the corner, was flicked. Out to Rossell. Couldn't tag it, now he does. Too late. Stieber got a block on it. For more on the impressive Mueller, here's Danielle Slayton.
Well, Chris Mueller told us yesterday that Dom Dwyer's really helped him in his transition to Major League Soccer by not only being a good teammate, but also being a good friend. He said it can sometimes be intimidating when you make the jump from college to the MLS game, and now you're sitting alongside guys with big names in the locker room. But he pointed out Dom and Sasha Question in particular, saying that they've helped to mentor him and encourage him, making this transition far easier. He's having good first 30 minutes today.
The mentors have done a good job. Orlando City with it, playing it all the way across. Osted got frozen there. But J.C. Rivero spotted a foul. 29th minute. Orlando City keeping that 0, and that has to be one of their goals in this game tonight. A short-handed squad. They've got the full complement of 18 for James O'Connor, but he's missing two big guns in Question and Yotun. He's also dealing with some other injuries as well. Spector's out, Sane's out. Most goals allowed, though, in Major League Soccer. It has to start on the defensive side of the ball. Assad on it. Knaus. Birnbaum. D.C. trying to get a little bit more possession. If you do struggle defensively and you can improve your possession, it's less time than you have to defend. And I think that possession has helped Orlando City out a bit tonight. The Acosta pass keeps D.C. on the front foot. Getting closer to goal. Rooney wanted it. Let's play back to Areola. Fisher, wide right. Orlando City cut down that angle. Higuita scrambling back. Fisher beats him to the ball. Deflected out. DC United wins it. Areola pulling it back into the middle for Assad. Knaus. Fisher open. El Munir tries to close him. It almost rolled in. Rooney was sitting in the seam there, hoping for that ball to get through. Your takeaways so far? Half an hour gone?
Well, it's segments of 10 minutes, if you will. Orlando first 10 minutes, then DC, and Orlando's come back here. I think at times DC's really tight and narrow in the way that they play, especially when Assad pulls in. It's all fine and well to pull in, but you've got to have an overlapping outside back to provide that width.
Rooney sees the run by Fisher. Will bounce away, and Fisher's able to come down with it. El Munir chasing him by the corner flag. Good job by El Munir, staying with it. Lost it out though. DC throw-in. Knaus is open. 32nd minute. Scoreless from Audi Field. First of 3 games in 8 nights for DC United. A lot of home games for them. These next 3 are at home. But they're coming fast and furious. Little time for rest and recovery. Knaus, Fisher. Short for Acosta. Areola playing it in. Who wins the second ball? That was Stieber. He's headed away by Orlando City. It's going to end up being a throw-in from DC United in front of their bench. This is what they're looking at schedule-wise. Very much fan-friendly. Mora. Inside, swept away. Higuita. That's cut off. But the foul, no foul. So Mora keeps it for Assad. O'Neal Fisher. Advancing, lays it off from the right. Rooney was looking for some service, making moves inside the box. Quick shot taken by Stieber, it falls. Rooney looking, couldn't get it off his foot. And the flag was up anyway. DC offside. And then injury as well. Emre Tarek, the Egyptian center back, is the player down. And this team must cringe when the training staff has to come out on the field because of all the injuries they've had.
Nope, there's the offside. But a good little spell here from DC United, getting opportunities, working it around. And it has to be said, when you talk about Orlando, we talked about them not letting in goals. I think the compact way that they are playing, while not always attractive, it's effective, and they are under no obligation to entertain anybody in this new building here tonight. As a matter of fact, for them, their first priority, as we mentioned time and time again, is don't concede goals, and certainly don't concede easy goals with stupid mistakes as they've done in the past. So that man right there, he's got to be happy so far with the way that this team has played. You got to baby steps for this team. Not letting in goals, that's an accomplishment in itself.
54 goals allowed, most by far in the league. Where does the blame go, though, Alexi? It's not about the goalkeeper. It's not about the back line. It's got to be about everybody.
Yeah. I mean,
you give them up as a team.
You do. And I think there is a collective responsibility in the way that they've played. But also, I think if you look back at the goals, there are individual mistakes, decisions by players that have to be second-guessed and said, no, that's not something, that's not a risk you need to take. Why are you taking it? A loss of possession, all of that different things. I think it's just a combination of things when it comes to not very good defenders, to be quite honest, individually, and then collectively as a unit, which can make mediocre defenders better not even having that either. So you got neither one of them. And sometimes you have individual defenders that can cover for mistakes and emergency defend, and that's great. And sometimes you have okay defenders that just play really well together. This team has neither so far. But tonight, much better.
Mora,
kiss of death.
Mora leaves it off. That was Knaus for Wayne Rooney. Rooney got bumped off the ball. Nice move by Higuita. Cutting it into the middle. Rocha. Rocha getting more minutes under the new man, O'Connor. Here's Rocha. Thought about loading it up.
He had it too.
Dwyer. That's clipped. That caught off somebody and results in a corner kick. That fooled Osted.
Rocha had such a nice opportunity here. He let it just come right across his body without even touching it. Put himself in space for a left-footed shot. Thought about it, thought better of it, and then it was gone, fleeting.
Meanwhile, Mueller will go over to take this next corner. Sent all the way back to Rossell.
That's interesting.
I wasn't sure if that was by design or he mishit it. But they keep possession. Sutter will push it. El Munir. Orlando City on the road, scoreless here at DC United. Second and final meeting during this regular season between these two sides. Rossell keeps it rolling for Will Johnson. Can he get a corner out of this? He'll be deflected right off that corner flag. Ball is going to belong to DC United. Very versatile Will Johnson. He's played as a holding midfielder out wide, helped out as a right back. Canadian international. That's off Johnson. And now it's cleared the other way. Out for a throw. And Saturday, Major League Soccer returns to ESPN as the Seattle Sounders take on Zlatan Ibrahimovic and the LA Galaxy. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern on ESPN. Do you think Zlatan would have as many goals as he's had? As quickly as he's had?
Oh, man. He scores goals. That's what he does. He's done it every single place that he's been. That he's doing it for a mediocre team, I think that's what's impressive, because this is the first time really in his life that he's played for a team that isn't going to win 70% of their games, that isn't going to go out there knowing they have the best talent out there in the LA Galaxy right now, and yet he has consistently provided goals, and he's provided leadership. And we talked earlier about Wayne Rooney. I think he's provided somebody, a personality in that locker room and on that field that people want to do well for, because they know if they don't, they're not living up to what he has already shown that he can do.
Mueller with the chip. Higuita. Will Johnson.
Still think it's lame that he didn't play in the All-Star game.
Yeah, that's another subject, but yes, yes. Cost him a regular season game with the Galaxy.
Yeah. It's his world, we're just living in it.
Yep. We thank him. Rossell. Back of the ball. Just spending the last few years in Portugal. Loaned out 4 different times. Comes back to Major League Soccer. Plays now with Orlando City. Sutter. Rossell. Sutter holding. Rooney's in the neighborhood. Comes back. Goes off O'Neal. Tarek. Outside the circle with a pass ahead. Johnson on the move. Mueller's open again on the right side. Mueller allowed to cross out for a corner. He's pretty much on that right wing so far tonight.
Well, while we talk about the defense, which has been very good from Orlando, this man right here has consistently provided that width. And that's a good thing from an offensive and a creative perspective, to have a guy that you know can get in that space and provide that service on a consistent basis.
Tony Rocha, that's headed away. Orlando City recovers. Back to Rossell. Across the way, settled there. El Munir floats one up. Mueller went up for battle with that one. Rooney ends up with it. off Acosta. Assad. Back to Luciano Acosta. That was a sweet move. And that was not. Foul on Rossell. Bring him down. DC's playmaker. Here's Rooney. As they went with a quick restart. Fisher has some real estate to work with. Getting closer. Playing it up for Areola. There's a swing and a miss for the man that scored a couple of goals in the first game here against Vancouver.
We'll take first look at Acosta. Thank you very much. Through the legs, draws the foul. Rooney comes in and plays this one quick. And look, this is much harder than it looks. Yeah, that thing is flying over the top of some trees there.
Areola was pointing for the ball and then gave the applause for the service. Just didn't work out. Headed by Knaus. He put his head in a dangerous spot there. He's going to get called. Closing minutes of this opening half.
Well, if you're Orlando, I think you have to be pleased and pleasantly surprised at the possession that you have been given by DC, but certainly the way that you've defended, considering what the norm is. The opportunities out wide.
Johnson finds Rocha. Back towards Rossell.
If you're DC, meh. I mean, it's not particularly exciting, and it's not particularly inspiring in terms of the potential of something to happen so far, unless Acosta gets the ball.
When you look at it, they haven't really tested Bendick. Bendick's the guy that led the league in saves a year ago.
And we mentioned if they're not going to high press, or at least press up higher where they're having the ability to turn the ball over in advantageous positions, and they're going to counter at different times, especially when they give Orlando some possession. They got to have some speed, and they just don't have that right now.
The intended pass was for Dwyer. It'll be O'Neill Fisher on this right side. Knaus in the circle. 43rd minute. Zeros on the board. DC United, Orlando City. Acosta to Rooney. They went back and forth. Rooney will keep it. He sees that run from Fisher. Delivers it. Fisher had to wait a little bit for it. Areola. Rooney from Knaus. Rooney far away from goal, leaves it off. Knaus ahead. Stieber pushed it. Fisher. Tried a fancy move there. That one didn't work. He'll recover it though. Back near the halfway line.
Well, you can see Rooney as he gets, I don't know if it's frustrated, but not having as much of the ball that he wants, and certainly not getting opportunities closer to goal. He starts dropping more and more, which isn't necessarily bad. You can see he's got a coordination with Acosta.
Acosta will hold there. Luciano will play it for Stieber. To the outside, it comes back for Stieber. Puts it on the left foot, sends it forward. Not enough by Assad, and there's the goal from Rooney, but the flag was up. I thought it was off of Assad. They're appealing it. I thought Assad was offside originally. I'm not sure about Rooney.
Well, they're going to check it.
They should.
They will. Should. Long ball over the top. Yeah. He's off.
Yeah, Assad.
He's off.
Yeah. Rooney was okay. It was a
Rooney was great. Great finish.
Yeah.
And one time they finally get behind, if they're offside.
But that's what he can do when given an opportunity. The man has played in 3 World Cups and 3 Euros. He's going to look at it himself. That's interesting. It's clear and obvious error. That looked clear and obvious, didn't it, that Assad was off? Or no?
Looked clear and obvious to me.
To me too. Clear and obvious means something different, though, to different people. But to me,
and he's well within his right to go take a look and confirm for himself what the folks upstairs have pointed out. And he's also within his right to disagree, which he is not going to do because it's very clear and obvious.
He's going to blow the whistle now.
He's got 2 balls on the field.
Yeah.
Clearly and obviously there's 2 balls.
Yeah. Final seconds here. We'll see how much stoppage time will come up. Highlights and stats coming up on our Audi halftime report coming up soon as this ball is played into the box intended for Dwyer. She tries to settle it. Instead, it's Knaus. Another ball was out on the field. That could have been interesting. And that's what Osted's complaining about. Not sure how that ball got out there or why, but right when the player was shooting.
Go ahead. Talk to your staff and fans after.
3 minutes in stoppage time. Minimum of 3. Ball set upfield by Osted, who's starting his 12th straight game. Mueller. Sutter. Of these 2 teams, you would think that Orlando City would be more satisfied with this first half. As that ball is cleared away, out for a throw-in. In for Mueller. Try to close him down. A couple of sweet moves there, but he's broken up. Tapped by Johnson. And the tap on Mueller rolls over. In some discomfort, but back up. Cut back nicely by Knaus. Rooney.
Well done. A wonderful outlet there from Rooney.
Fisher on the move after that good feed from Rooney.
He's got a Costa on this far side. Well done by Mueller to get back to cover up.
Wide on that right side. Stieber has Fisher with him. Drawn back to Knaus. Assad was looking for it. Back for Fisher. And Munir trying to defend. It goes inside the box. Headed. Far enough away from Rooney. And now Bendick will keep it in play. And take some time off the clock. Joe Bendick will roll it right side. Sutter is there. In the 3rd minute of stoppage time, Rossell will try that long ball. Osted was going to come out and thought better of it. Gets it played back to feet. Zell Munir on the run.
It's good trust there. Osted for his outside back Fisher there to know his speed and know his closing ability. Don't find yourself in no man's land.
Acosta. Rooney. Pulling it back again. Keeping it, squaring it. Stieber. Wanted Areola. That's cut off. Now Munir bringing it back the other way. Throwing Orlando City. The time running out in this first half. Tarek moving it towards El Munir. And now possession lost. DC United with that quick throw to Areola. Back for Stieber. Acosta. Rooney and then Acosta again. Acosta on the dribble. A shot. Acosta! That'll count.
Well, we talked about it. Get this man the ball because good things will happen. Oh my goodness, he just smashes it here at the end. Because look at this angle. Wonderful little touch there into space and just lashes it right at the end there. Celebrations all around, and if you're Orlando at this point of the half, that is a killer.
And remember, they lost the ball on the far sideline. They had possession. They lose it out. Quick throw in. A couple of quick moves, and Acosta gets his 2nd goal of the year. Different look now at halftime. Orlando City didn't deserve that the way they played in the first 45. But they're going to the locker room trailing now. Waiting for the final whistle.
This is sports.
Yeah.
Often has absolutely nothing
Can
to
be
do
cruel,
with it.
right? Can be cruel.
It's those moments.
Terrific goal by Acosta on what was one of the final kicks of this first half. So if you're DC United, you may not have been pleased with the first 44 minutes, Alexi, but that last minute, yes, you're happy. We'll see what the second half brings. No changes personnel-wise. One of the things that I would think Orlando City has to do a better job of is finding Dwyer. He's their goal scorer, 10 goals on the year, 4 of those are game winners, and right now he's really their lone big threat. Orlando City pulling up. That's not good for Sutter. Right at the start of the second half. Assad's over there with him.
He just got clipped by Assad. Pulled up. Just pulls this one back, and Assad just comes right through. He'll be all right. Look,
he's better.
It's amazing.
Had a good career in Switzerland before he came over to Orlando City. Dwyer doubled up there. D.C. obviously knows he's the threat. They'll stay with him. Rocha loses to Knaus. Assad for Stieber. Rooney makes a run. Stieber cutting. Getting it back somehow. Stieber has it. Looking up. Takes the shot. Off the post. The post saving Joe Bendick in Orlando City.
Wonderful transition from D.C. We'll see the tail end of it here. Acosta with a nice little drop to the top of the box, and Stieber from outside off the post. Wonderful start from D.C.
Hungarian midfielder, 4 goals, 7 assists on the season. Last year just a goal and an assist, but only played in 8 games. Came during the season last year. This year had the benefit of full training with the team. Got more accustomed to the league. Doing a much better job as Bendick clears it. High upfield, not high enough. Pushed forward by Mueller. Let's see if Mueller has an effective second half. He was effective in the first. Mueller toes it ahead, but the offside flag went up on Orlando City.
Let's take another look at this shot. Stieber, it's just spinning away from Bendick there. Hits off the post. It was just great build-up the way DC United won the ball, quickly transitioned, made the switch. And then once again, Acosta in the middle of things.
Ariola will push it right. Stieber getting it back from Acosta. He has the only goal. They gave the assists, of course, to Wayne Rooney. So Rooney now with a couple of assists in his short stint so far with DC United. Coming back to Osted. Up the middle. That was another dangerous ball. Picked off. Higuita didn't touch it. He thought he was offside. And DC will come up with it towards Fisher. Pressed there by Rocha. Well out. Ariola on the move. Former Tijuana midfielder. Tried to leave it for Stieber. Was knocked out. Throw in. DC. Leave it to O'Neal Fisher to take it. 4th year back. Got it for Knaus. Costa had his idea going, but didn't work. That was a work challenge. Birnbaum and Higuita. J.C. Rivero all the way over there. This looks like could be more than just a warning. If it's a warning, Birnbaum might be fortunate.
Well, this is a wonderful tackle. If it's 1994.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a yellow card. I was watching while you're watching the replay. I'm watching the referee because I still thought he was going to card him.
It's, you know, he gets there, but it's no longer about.
Is that how you tackled the 94?
Yeah, they wouldn't even have.
All right. I remember actually. I do.
Don't even have said anything.
I do. Yeah.
That was bread and butter.
I answered my own question. Rory Rossell will have a free kick when play resumes. Birnbaum has played for the USA. First international goal was a game winner in a January game against Iceland. Also was on the 2016 Copa squad. Copa America Centenario. 1-0 lead for DC United. Luciano Acosta's 2nd goal of the year. Wayne Rooney with his 2nd assist. Pushed wide by O'Neal. Sutter. Long and ambitious towards Mueller. Defended by Mora. Mueller had the better of that matchup in the first half anyway. Deflects towards the end line. Played across. Off Osted and in! Rossell will get the goal off the keeper. 1-1. 51st minute.
Well, Rossell is just going to make something out of nothing here. Gets a nice little header and a head of speed.
Did that deflect off?
Yep. Deflected right there. Left foot right there, and then it goes in the near post because D.C. United has it covered. And he knows, sometimes the soccer gods smile upon you. And they did for him and for Orlando. They will take it. But you know what? You put yourselves in position to get something like that.
Yep.
And he took it upon himself.
I thought for sure he's going to cut the ball back.
Yep. Well, he was cutting it back.
Yeah. Not the way I saw it, but Rossell gets the goal. Different game now.
Yep.
So Orlando came out heads high, not down after conceding that goal very late in the first half. And now it's DC United. How do they respond at home? They had that 1-0 lead and momentum, huge momentum, scoring on really the last kick of the first half, just about. It's a throw now for Orlando City. Rocha. Doubled up there. Fisher's on it. Swinging it all the way to the other side. Knaus. Dispossessed. Dwyer does a good job to keep the ball. Paid a price for it. Rocha will put it back to Tarek. O'Neal, formerly with the Colorado Rapids. It's pushed back all the way to the feet of Bemick. And you think back, Stieber off the post. Could have been 2-0 DC United. Instead, Orlando City come right back. Get a big one to tie it up. Ariola. Stieber. He'll play one up. Rooney. Couldn't get to it. Ariola can. Ariola leaves it. Acosta. Tackled away from him. Knaus. Stieber. The overlap from Fisher. Stieber will take it wide to the end line. Stieber with a cross towards the back post area. Brought down. Assad cutting it. That's blocked. Orlando City should be able to move this ball ahead. They do. On that right side for Mueller, taking off. DC have a man down. Play continues upfield. Mueller pushing it right. Higuita's there. Dwyer calls for it in the box. That ball got away. Too much on it. Well wide of Osted. The play has been stopped. Assad is the player that's down.
Looks like he just got a wing there from Higuita. Right? Nope, we'll check it. He's going to look at it too.
Interesting. The referee's going over to look at the monitor. J.C. Rivero, while the DC United training staff will take a look at Emil Assad.
Well, again, you can see right there. And is it, they have to decide, is that an actual swing? You're responsible for your appendages.
J.C. Rivero is running back onto the field.
Well, here's the drama.
What's he going to call?
Here we go.
Wow. A red on Higuita. Well, he looked at it. We did not have as good a look. He did. That's tough for Orlando City.
That is really tough. They obviously upstairs felt that it was clear and obvious.
That's even a late reaction too from Assad.
There you go. Is this a swing right? there, or is it just momentum trying to get past the player? That's what they have to decide. But you know what?
Clear and obvious?
Is it clear and obvious? No, but it doesn't matter if I think it's clear and obvious.
It's unfortunate. Is he still communicating? I think he's still communicating. I think he's still communicating, but he looked. He makes the final call. It's his decision, so this is going to be really interesting if he reverses this, because he made the call based on conversation with the VAR.
Yep.
He looks at it. He says red. Now he's saying throwing. Let's see. Based on DC United's body language,
I think he's just trying to find out where the restart is going to happen here.
And where's Higuita? This is not the way it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be quicker, and for the most part, it has been in Major League Soccer, but this one has taken a while. Too long for me.
Well, it's taken too long for the player to leave the field. I mean, the decision was made.
Yeah.
We can agree with it or disagree with it, but the player has to leave the field.
Agree with that right away. But it looked like J.C. Rivera was getting more information after he made that call.
I think he was just getting information as to where the restart was going to happen. Dylan Powers is going to come in.
So Powers comes in and Rocha goes off. Higuita seemed to be one of their most effective players of that first half. And now they lose him for the rest of this game, and also, of course, for next week. Or in a couple of weeks when they play again against Atlanta.
Let's take another look. So Higuita is now going back against the grain to get through. And look, he swings out there with that elbow.
So you think it's good?
I can make a case for it.
Okay. Orlando City now, after coming back getting an equalizer, are now a man down. Stieber. And in the middle it comes. Knaus playing it short. Assad. Acosta. Areola. Stieber's open. They'll close him down as quickly as they can. Assad with Rooney making a run. Stieber's back on the ball. Fisher. Stieber. Acosta. Luciano Acosta with DC's only goal. Louis Rossell got the equalizer for Orlando City. Ball clipped ahead. And the turn, Areola blocked. Orlando City will pick it up. It's tough enough on the road, but they're down to 10 men here against DC United. 1-1 game, plenty of time. 59th minute. Ball pushed across to Birnbaum. Rooney.
Well, Rooney smells blood. He smells space.
He's going for it now. Stieber laid it off to Acosta. Right side, Fisher. Wanted to go to the end line, stripped of the ball. Until Munir. Very good job. Possession lost in the end, but he did well to break up that play initially. Yamil Assad. Second year in the league. Will push it. Right side to Acosta. He'll full one up. Rooney! Just beyond his reach. Close. That's a ball he loves.
Yep. And there's more space, just can't quite get there. They saw it, just couldn't do it. Here's the red card again. All right, you want me to make a case? You got to keep your arms down. You're responsible for that. That is a swing out there, endangering the opponent there. Up in the head at that. I can make the other side too. Yeah.
They may change it again, but right now they're saying an own goal instead of Rossell. But either way, Orlando City is tied at 1.
You know, if Higuita is deciding and making that decision to run past the player with his arms in that elevated position, there is an intent to do that, and you're responsible if you do that.
Luciano Acosta will lay it off.
Offside. We see that oftentimes when players go up for the ball in the air nowadays.
Just to Rooney, laid it off. Areola wanted to tag it. He'll do it now. It's wide. He says deflection. Everyone's in agreement. Corner, DC United. Areola signed last year as a designated player. The ball comes out quickly off the corner to Fisher. He'll tag it over Mendick. Looked good when he left his foot.
Lots of space opening up and plenty of opportunities here for DC. Now Orlando down a man. This is a long way out. Just gets over it.
Birnbaum will move it upfield. Knaus. DC United with the extra man. With the sending off of Higuita before the hour mark.
DC, you're playing a team that's struggling. You're in last place in the conference. You got to go on a roll. Playing against 10 men, you got to sink that dagger.
Fisher. DC had numbers in the box. Couldn't get it across. Maybe this time Areola has that blocked. Goes forward again. Tagged by El Munir. It'll bounce a couple of times. Dwyer went hard for it, but Birnbaum had the better positioning and won it. Meanwhile, PC is up by the fourth official, ready to come on as the next sub for Orlando City. PC was a starter last game against New England. Mueller cut off by Knaus. And DC's back on the ball. 1-1 game. Orlando City a man down. A lot of time left here at Audi Field. Stieber. Rooney makes the run. Stieber can't hit him. Areola. Fisher. Defended by El Munir. Luciano Costa. Gets a soft touch back. Rooney looking against the sea of white. Powers clears it. Giving right back to Birnbaum. To Stieber. Hungarian midfielder holds. Rooney lost it initially, recovers. Mora inside for Areola. Powers couldn't clear it out far enough. Chipped in, that's Acosta! He's got two! And he's down, but the flag was up. So it's no goal, offside, but worse than that, Acosta's down. At this point, they're not thinking about the goal. Bravery on the part of both.
Whoa, and that is really, really close. So they can go back and look at this. If the whistle happened after the ball went in the back of the net, they can go back and look at this. We'll take another look and see whether he was off. Either way, he gets clobbered here. That's a foul. That happens. Look, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
that is.
That should be good, right? I mean, that's so close. That's not clear and obvious for offside.
They should look. Then they're checking it as they should.
J.C. Rivera's gone to the year. If you're wondering about the size difference, Luciano Acosta's 5'3", 130. Bendick is 6'3", 223. In that collision, Bendick won.
That happens in the middle of the field, and that's a red card.
You can hear fans chanting VAR.
There it is.
That's been a normal chant in these stadiums. And J.C. Rivera will come over to take a look.
I mean, he could be looking, was it offside? He could be looking potential missed red card.
Yep.
I mean, that is as close as you can get, because you take away the arm, that doesn't matter.
He paid a price.
we could get a double VAR here where he gives the goal and he gives a red card.
Goal. So now, my initial statement was correct. Acosta has 2.
But he's not going to give Bendik anything. All right. So he said this is onside. Fair enough. Well, we saw it. Brave. But that is... He can actually go back. He can give a red card. He can give a yellow card because he was reviewing it for the offside. And then if it happened within that play, things that he may have missed, he can go back. He can even give a yellow card. But nothing?
Yeah. So some controversy tonight, for sure. And DC United have a 2-1 lead, and now they're going to make a change. PC's going to come in for El Munir. It might be a like-for-like swap in terms of the position that they play, but at the very least, it's fresh legs on the part of PC. We're going to call that in the 64th minute, and the goal from Acosta. That's big, though. The lead again goes to the home side, DC United. Neil Fisher's on the ball. Let's get more on the subs that just took place. Danielle Slayton.
Well, PC has just come into the left back position for Orlando, and just moments ago, while that VAR review was going on, James O'Connor brought Dylan Powers over to the sideline, communicating to him, we must use the flank better. We need to get it out wide.
Thanks, Danielle. Assad will push it. Right now, though, DC United has the lead. Look at the smoke in front of goal.
Love it.
In front of Bendik.
Never have too much smoke or confetti.
But you're up here. Wonder what Bendik's thinking.
It's glorious. This is, by the way, the first time I've been in this stadium. I think it's your first time here?
Yes, it is. Magnificent stadium. Right?
I think it's great. I mean, especially for this storied club, and especially considered RFK memories.
What time to go, right? I mean, if anyone deserved a new stadium, it was this franchise that won 4 MLS Cups, the first 2, and 3 of the first 4. The last one they won was in 2004. They'd love to get back to those glory days. The new stadium is part of it, signing Wayne Rooney, bringing Bill Hamid back, and I'm sure they'll make other moves. Not this year because the transfer window is closed, but certainly next year. Tarek. So now you're Orlando City. You've not played a bad game here. It's probably one of your better games of late, but you're down 2-1 and you're down a man. Bendik will move it to the right. 2 goals by Luciano Acosta, and what they're calling now an own goal. Brought Orlando City back in the game at 1-1.
Well, you know that all the talk from Orlando is going to be about that red card. Was it or wasn't it?
And it's controversial, right? You said you could have made a case either way.
Yep.
So Costa will push it back.
Well, remember when VAR was talked about early on in its infancy, and it was going to take away that beautiful part of the game, that gray area of the game, and what we found is over the summer, or whether it's in MLS use, we have just as many arguments and back and forths and debates, albeit with much more informed perspective because of what we see on the field. But
there is less player dissent, though, when the ruling is made, because they know that VAR is there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, JP, I would have had to adjust my game accordingly, knowing that there is that eye out there, and the things that
saw it at the World Cup, right?
Yeah, saw it in the box. I mean, the things that happen, the holding, the pushing, the dark arts.
The what? Opari will push it into the center for Birnbaum. 2-1 lead for DC United. Luciano Acosta with both goals. He came into the game with 1. He has 3 now to go along with all of his assists, 9 of them. And right now, he'll look for some more if he can, with his team up a man. So a good night for him. They call it an own goal off post, and I always think that that's rough off the goalkeeper when it deflects in the way it did. rather see it go to Roussel. And the red card in the 55th minute to Higuita. That kind of changed things, no matter what. Be a throw in from the far side for DC United. Another game coming up after this one. Seattle trying to make their way into the playoffs. Very good lately for Seattle, taking on a very strong FC Dallas side coming up right after this one. We'll go out to the West Coast. PC, Dylan Powers. Pushed back, all the way back by Opari, but they beat that pressure. Roussel, Dwyer, flag stays down. Dwyer, the shot. He will tie the game. Dom Dwyer, terrific goal. 11th of the year. That is vintage Dom Dwyer. Vintage. And this is the quietest the stadium has been tonight.
Oh, that's so Dom. Making this run perfectly timed. Gets in. Oh, the little scoop. Love it. Love it.
Little ball from Roussel.
Look at him. He has a lot of time to think. Oh. And that changes things.
Totally. They're still on a man, but that made him smile.
Oh, yeah, and that's why he's there. Does a lot of work. Takes a lot of hits.
That's his only real good chance tonight. He converts
That's
it.
who he is.
Yep.
He's not going to dominate a game, and certainly the teams that he plays for, the way that they have played with him, that's not the type of player that he has been. It doesn't mean that he can't be that type of player. It's just the situations that he's been in.
I'm just watching.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Why is that? It was not offside. I mean, what else could they be looking at? I'll tell you what, if this goes against Orlando City, if this goes against them, look out.
Well, they could be looking for offside.
What else could they be looking for? I've not seen the double look. Of you? Assistant referee helping out there on the view. Yeah, no, I do too, but I've not seen it. Go. Yeah.
All right.
And Dom Dwyer can smile again.
Just get it right. Double celebration.
Yeah. That was a terrific goal. The ball that Roussel gives him is perfect, but his chip over Oster.
And just the patience, and it's not a great look, but he times that run perfectly, does that nice little curl. And here we go again. I'm telling you, it looks like he's offside there, but I think that Fisher keeps him on. You got to look way out at the other side there where Fisher is.
Looking live, where I saw him make that run, I thought he was on. Looking live. Assad now on the left. Well, DC United has had the lead twice, only to see Orlando City come back. Remember, they did that against New England. They were down 2-0, made a game out of it, then they trailed by 1 goal, tied them up. So it's a team that doesn't quit, despite all the hardship that they've had, especially on the road. Fisher on the ball. DC still can try to take advantage of that man advantage. Areola. Fisher. Clipped ahead. Stieber didn't get to the end line. Off a block. Battle for the ball. DC cleared it out to safety. Safety first. Throw in quickly. Stieber has Fisher with him. Knaus. Can also have another go at it. Fisher. Costa's laying back. He'll get this. The Argentinian midfielder will push it ahead. The touch back. Assad settles in for Acosta. Oh, if he took that down clean, he's got a hat trick.
Just skipped away from him. Wonderful timing.
That's a nice setup.
See him come late. Well, they would have looked at that given the way things have gone tonight. But either way, it skipped past him.
MLS on FS1 is sponsored by Heineken. Open your world. 2-2 game here. 76th minute. Orlando City down a man, but certainly not down in their come-from-behind spirit. Terrific goal from Dwyer has made it a 2-2 match.
Darren Maddox down on the sideline. You want somebody that can come in and provide some speed and spark and something completely different in terms of the complexion that you're throwing at Orlando. Well, he's somebody.
It'll be interesting to see who will come out. PC on the ball. Had some good years in the old NASL. Rosell pushing it right. Mueller, quiet second half so far, can change it with that ball. Powers was after it. Quick shot by PC, blocked. He'll try it again. Deflected wide. Should be a corner, I thought. Yep, corner kick.
D.C. living dangerously, and Orlando just feeling confident. Multiple players in the box. D.C. gets 2 bites at this, and ooh, lucky, lucky, lucky.
Chris Mueller puts it down. We'll pull it up towards the middle, never got there. It's going to be cleared out. It'll be another throw-in, though, for Orlando City. Much better performance by them tonight. Hard done with the red card to Higuita. Had to play a man down, trailing by a goal twice tonight. Have come back twice. Powers knocked down. Foul, free kick.
Orlando's just grinding, finding ways to create set pieces. Dylan Powers just getting to that position and taking that hit.
Free kick now for Orlando City. 2-2 game here. Mueller's over there on that far side, along with PC. The left-footed PC off the training ground to Sutter. The shot. Sutter hit the side netting. Didn't look like DC was ready for that one. Substitution, Maddox for Fisher. They don't play the same position, so this is going to be something to see how they configure this. So Fisher out, the right back, and an attacking midfielder / forward. Maddox comes in.
Well, Ariola's moving over here to this right-hand side, but we know this DC United is going to push for the 3 points. So they'll still be in a back 4, but the outside backs are just going to push high. Rooney tucking in now, more in the midfield.
And they still have that extra man that can help them, should help them. Hasn't yet. Costa off a block. Powers moving it ahead. Orlando City have a player down behind the play. Rosell sees that and will clear it out. Mueller was the player down. Mueller still down. MLS on FS1 is sponsored by AT&T. 80th minute, still anyone's game. Even with Orlando City down a man, it's been fairly even and open.
There's the foul. He's up. He's young.
2 good things. Maddox, who came in, 8 goals on the year, 17 games. Not getting as much playing time lately with Rooney in there. But Maddox may be able to compliment Rooney tonight, especially up a man. And eager, most likely, to get some minutes back. Inside, Sutter will clear it. This ball will go out of play. What's D.C. thinking? Let's go downstairs. Danielle Slayton.
Well, I'm standing next to Ben Olsen, and he's very dramatic, urging his team to go forward, reminding the referee about how much time is left on the clock. He knows, and he told us yesterday how important this string of games is. He says they're looking to get 7 to 9 points out of this week. He said we've been in the basement far too long for the last year and a half, and it's time for us to make a move.
I hope that move starts tonight. Up a goal twice, losing the lead both times. Still up the man. Stieber. Rooney. To the outside, Stieber will hold. Waits for some movement. Opari. Birnbaum. Captain is back for the ball. Plays it up. He was trying to find Maddox. Good idea. But a bit off target. Next week, MLS Soccer Sunday is on FS1 with an original MLS matchup. We come right back here to our nation's capital, DC United hosting the New England Revolution. And our good friend, Brad Friedel, the head coach there. It all starts 7:30 Eastern on FS1, where you can stream it live on the Fox Sports app. Left off there. DC will start. That was a nice touch from Acosta. Stieber. Ariella was calling for it. Maddox and Rooney making runs. Good block from PC. Out for a throw and for DC United. Get it in quickly. Acosta with both goals for his side. Luciano will push it right. Stieber all the way up. Maddox couldn't get to it. Settled. Played back to Birnbaum. Mora has Assad with him. Mora puts one up. That's Acosta. Stieber walks in. Saved by Bendick. Just took it off his foot. Big play. Either way was ruled a save, or he just took it off his foot by Bendick.
Well, he was off his line well and quickly, because that just dropped perfectly for Stieber there. Surprised him.
Orsted calls Opari off.
Another look, these crosses coming in. Acosta getting on the end of it. Woo! DC was beaten there. They're knocking.
Wayne Rooney. Long for Maddox. Darren Maddox will push it back. Knaus sees the run by Areola. Spotted him. Can he find him? He does. Brought down by Areola. Stieber, Areola, Acosta. Back to the USA International, Areola. Acosta, and they had the runner. Assad made the run. Right off by Dwyer for Dylan Powers. PC on the ball. Brazilian left back, can also play as a left-sided midfielder, will push it all the way across. Sutter on the right. Mueller. Powers. Even with 10 men, Orlando City has had some pretty good possession, and they've gotten some numbers forward. PC's on it. Russell. Back for PC. Second of 3 games today in Major League Soccer. New York City FC went up, beat Toronto. And we've got the other game following us. Seattle-Dallas right here on FS1. Acosta going inside. Oh, beat Tarek. That's a card and a half. Played in. Rooney. Maddox. Save Bendick. Has to be a card for Tarek.
Yeah, go back and give it. Well played by the referee. Well played by Acosta to keep playing. Make something out of it. Actually got advantage because Orlando stopped thinking the foul was going to be called. A good block there right at the end.
There's going to be another substitution. Mora is coming out. And he's going to be replaced by Segura. Luis Segura coming in. More of an attacking player too, but they can afford to take the gambles here. They need the 3 points. They're up a man. They got to get the win streak started. Assad pushing it all the way out wide. That was Rooney who slipped, recovered off Maddox. Orlando City moving it up for Dwyer, held it well, finds Mueller. Powers joins, he's got fresher legs. Dwyer pointed, wanted it. Can he cut inside of Ampari? Dwyer in, blocked by Ampari.
Well played by both players there. Found Dwyer right at the end of the game, bombing forward. And Ampari with a crucial block there.
O'Neal back to Bendick. Sutter to the right. Off a block. Big turnover there. In for the run of Maddox. They rushed that one. 87th minute. DC United 2. Orlando City 2. Knaus. Acosta for Rooney. Opari. Segura. He went down, does not get the call. Orlando City back on the ball. Dwyer again calling for it, still making these runs late in the game. Yeah, it was off. Well, if this result stands, as we see another substitution, Stefano Pino will replace Dom Dwyer, who had a very good night. And you've got to consider the fact that there's no question, there's no Yotun. He still was effective when he had to be.
And it's not just all about the goal, although the goal was incredibly valuable and important, but this man works very, very hard up top. We talked about it all night. He's going to take his time.
Captain's armband to Will Johnson. Question has been wearing the armband, but injured tonight. If this result stands, Alexei, it's going to feel like, I would think, a loss for DC. Yes. Feel like a win for Orlando City.
Yep. Given the red card, which changed everything.
Yeah.
And I know Orlando, once again, will have let in multiple goals in the game.
But if they only give up 2 and can get a point out of this, considering the red card as well,
take the point and get out of Dodge.
Mentioned before, 12 days off before their next game, home against Atlanta. Segura. Here's DC United. Ariola's pass blasted into the seats. It was deflected out, apparently, so it belongs to Orlando City. They can take more time off the clock here in the 89th minute. No rush for this throw-in for PC. Off his left foot, wanted Powers, tapped ahead. Assad, Maddox makes a run on one side, Costa on the other. Darren Maddox turning it back. Assad from distance puts one up, too close to Bendick. But Costa was in the neighborhood. This game has had everything. 4 goals, red card, numerous VAR looks, some controversy. Assad. Stewar's now moved over to that far side with Segura taking his spot here towards the right. Now Segura's cutting more centrally. Rooney deep. Ariola. Apari, Rooney. Trying to make the ball do all the work, make it move faster. And catch Orlando City chasing. Segura drives it, headed wide. Good opportunity. Here's Knaus.
Once again, this ball coming in, it's just, that's a difficult header for Knaus to get back on it, get enough power to drive it to that back post. Going away from the goal, but With all these stoppages, there should be plenty of time. Oh, there you go.
About 6. Yeah, had to be right with the, 3 looks from VAR and all the subs. Had to be. It's Bendick sending it long. So another 6 minutes. Better for DC United. They've got the extra man. And Orlando City was not hoping for a big number. That one's deflected. It's going to be a corner for DC. And the big bodies go forward. The usual suspects, the targets. Rooney will be among them. Stieber drives one, headed once, twice over. Birnbaum got the first look. I think Areola wanted it initially.
Well, that's the one they wanted. Get the big guys up and come back against. They just couldn't.
It was the 2 center backs that got to that. Parring in the end off the feet from Birnbaum. Birnbaum may have not gotten all that he wanted on that because he was so close to Areola.
There they are.
The supporters that you talked about at halftime. Great atmosphere. There was always great atmosphere at RFK, but now the supporters have a much better stadium. They call their own. Bad bounce. Osted had to head it out. That's the last thing DC United wants. A mistake now. If they want the 3 points, they surely can't afford to come up empty. Segura. Acosta. He's made it happen for them tonight. Trying to find Areola, who was angled off. That's Rossell, who's had a terrific game. Right after our game, Seattle Sounders versus FC Dallas. John Strong, Brian Dunsett, Katie Witham, there, ready to go as soon as this one's over. And a couple of bounces back to Osted at the edge of the box. He'll roll it ahead. Kofi Opari for Areola. He played in World Cup qualifying for the U.S. Comes through. Past Johnson. Acosta. Segura. Assad. Everyone getting a touch. Acosta, Segura, wide. Johnson defending. Acosta, curling ball. Headed down, save Bendick. Knaus was there. Rooney, I think, wanted it as well. Big save. Joe Bendick has come up big now on at least 3 occasions here later in the game. Ball sent forward. Ball sent forward. Segura. It's cleared away, not far enough out. Assad. Poking it back. Birnbaum. Steven Birnbaum's pass ahead. Acosta. Areola. Orlando City collapsing on him. Now it's Acosta. Squaring it. Assad thought about it. Now played it forward and wide. That ball took off though. And despite a great effort from Areola, it's out of play.
Take a look back at this Bendick save. In from Acosta, and well, not a whole lot of power here, and it really is right at him, but gotta be there. Gotta make the save.
5th minute of stoppage time. Orlando City. Terrific effort, especially when you consider they've been down a man since the 55th minute when Higuita was sent off with the red card.
Controversially sent
on a VAR, on a VAR decision.
Well, I'm sure we'll hear all about it, whether we want to or not.
We will. No, we will. Segura with a throw-in. Rooney. Wide on the left side. DC floating into the box. That was intended for Assad. And Orlando City cleared it out. DC wants to get this corner kick off quickly.
Posted up. Love it.
Fans fans seem to like it too. They see him in the box. D.C. United going all out after it. It's Osted. Cleared. A foot race the other way. Look who's running hard after defensively. Wayne Rooney. The net is empty. Big collision by the captain. That is unbelievable effort. Rooney putting one up. Acosta. Header. Goal. Hat-trick. Acosta. That is an amazing ending. It started with Wayne Rooney coming back, winning the ball.
All right, so Wayne Rooney, wonderful tackle here. Bit of individual heart, effort, but that's not enough. He wants to do more. Crossfield ball.
To the smallest guy in the field.
And in the back of the net, but guess what's happening right now?
I can tell you what's happening right now. VAR.
You bet.
Because J.C. Rivero had his hand on the earpiece, and he's going to come over now to look. What could they be looking at besides an offside? Could they be thinking of foul on Rooney?
Push.
I mean, that would be harsh, I would think. That effort from Rooney.
Foul on Rooney? No.
That was an amazing effort. Amazing effort.
That was wonderful.
I thought you said he wasn't speedy.
Well, he's not speedy.
I know, but he was there. I could make that argument there. Let's see. There's going to be more time added on, by the way, in case you're wondering.
This is nuts. All right, go on. Look.
Is this the third or fourth time tonight losing track of VAR?
Here, all right, so this is definitely not a foul.
It's a big collision, but that's it.
He gets up.
Head up.
Long ball cross field. They could be looking, is this offside? Didn't look offside to me. They could be looking, is that a push there? Is it a push?
How does he find the smallest man on the field and deliver it?
Is he offside on that far point? Who knows?
Well, we'll know soon.
They're going to look at it.
We'll know what J.C. Rivero thinks because he's the one that makes the final call.
Yep.
He's looking now. Are you going to hear an amazing reaction to this whichever way it goes? Whichever way it goes.
Just give it for the game. For the good of the game.
I know.
Again, I mean, it's hard to see there, but he could be off there.
He's still looking, so
hey,
it's not that clear, right?
Was it clear and obvious? We wanted the call right, huh?
Oh, here we go. The VAR signal and goal. Now he celebrates. That's all you have to know, though, about Wayne Rooney when you saw him chase. He was the last man back. There was no one else near it. That's going to be a goal into an empty net, and Orlando City is going to win this game. And now they lose. That's what a captain does, though, Lex.
And look, that tackle and that play could have been done by anyone, okay? But it's done by that man right there. All of the money, all the attention, working right hard to the end. Again, he is all alone. By the way, Osted is up there. There's no goalkeeper here. He has to make that tackle or it is a goal.
And if he does just that, he did his job, but look at that.
And did you see Bendit? He thought twice about coming out. He comes out. I think he's able to make that punch. But such is the ball.
What a night for Acosta.
Analyzer, what a night.
He comes in with 1 goal this year. He's a playmaker more than a goal scorer, obviously, but he's got 3 tonight. But that play he just made at the end of the game is what they're going to be talking about.
As they should. That's what you want. You want your star to work. You want your star to be influential in the biggest moments.
They got him to score goals. They got him there to defend big time. So we'll see. There's more time that had to be put on because of VAR. But we're already, I believe, in that 6th minute as Bennett cleared it away. Now we're well past.
Yeah, we're going all night here, kid.
We
got another game too after this. Not us, but
Seattle and Dallas.
Russell, Orlando City, still fighting to the bitter end. Played across Tarek. Oh, he got his head on that one. There was a chance, but no chance now. D.C. United gets a big 3 at home. 3 from Matt Malacosta.
What a game. What a game.
This game had everything.